We decided to do the 150th podcast together.
Together, live, in person, which hasn't happened almost the entire time.
Yeah,
Very
I think
rarely.
we've done a few lives and we've been at conferences and things like that, but it's great to be together and what a time to celebrate. I mean, 150 episodes. We have covered so many topics.
In today's economy, more people than ever are looking to buy and sell businesses. But how do you do it? Welcome to the Deal Board, presented by Transworld Business Advisors. Straight talk about real deals and real people. Listen to stories, interviews, and expert advice to help your business sale, merger, or acquisition process. Now, here are your business exit experts, Andy and Jessica.
Welcome, everybody. Today is a really special day. It's a big day for us, right?
It's a big day because we're in person. I know some of you are listening to this and can't actually see it, but on video, we decided to do the 150th podcast together.
Together, live, in person, which hasn't happened almost the entire time.
Yeah, I think
rarely.
we've done a few lives and we've been at conferences and things like that, but it's great to be together and what a time to celebrate. I mean, 150 episodes. We have covered so many topics.
So many topics. So, I mean, I think we started this in like fall 2019, came to us as an idea at the IBBA conference shortly before that. But since then, I mean, we started with how businesses are sold, how businesses are valued, and just the basics. And we've dovetailed into all kinds of topics. We had the live webinars and the live podcasts through the pandemic, weekly updates when all of the world was changing on a weekly basis.
Yeah, we've kept up with our statistics. We've kept up with industry trends. We've kept up with profiling certain industries about what it's like to sell businesses. We've had motivational speakers, goal setting is one of our favorites.
Goal setting, 3 years in a row. Yeah, we've kind of had experts on from all over the country, featured business owners from all over the world too. We did our international shows, Australia and the UK.
History of Transworld.
Oh yeah, that's right. Just wrapped up that long series of a podcast. So we've covered a lot. And I know for those of you who are just listening, maybe this is your first introduction to us. There's a lot to go back and hear, but we also have a great show to bring you today.
Yeah, we have some special guests that are going to come by and congratulate us and give us a little bit of update of what they're doing right here at Transworld and UFG.
Yeah, so we have a great show. Thank you so much for your support over the last 150 episodes. We hope to have it for another 150 episodes and more to come.
Yeah, let's get to it.
Let's do it.
Transworld Business Advisors is the world's largest business brokerage and mergers and acquisitions firm with over 500 brokers in nearly 200 offices worldwide. Transworld's team handles thousands of business sales every year. To be connected with a qualified business broker or learn more about the buying and selling process, visit tworld.com/the deal board or call 888-719-9098.
Well, welcome everybody. I'm super excited. We have Ray Titus joining us again from United Franchise Group. Ray, you've been on the show quite a few times over the years.
Yep.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
So here we are at 150 episodes of the Deal Board.
It's amazing, Jess, and what you and Andy and the team have done. Congratulations on 150 episodes. I think there's a lot of sitcoms that have never reached that point.
Totally.
History. Yeah, it's
most
unbelievable.
of them.
But
maybe Seinfeld made it that long.
No, they made it a lot longer than that. But I don't think you're getting residuals from these in the future, though, are you?
Not probably to that level.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
not
good,
probably to that level. We haven't worked out that deal with the network yet.
Not yet. We're working on it though, right?
Yeah.
Good.
So we started the show in late 2019, like Q3.
Yeah.
I mean, what's really changed with Transworld over the last 3 years?
Oh my gosh, Jess. Well, for Transworld, for United Franchise Group, and all our brands, there have been so many changes. If somebody would have told me 3 years ago that we would have our own studio and that we would be doing more business on Zoom and Teams and everything else than face-to-face, that we would be entering into paperwork on DocuSigns and everything else, just incredible the amount of changes and pivots that we've had to make as business people over the last 2.5, 3 years. It's been remarkable. I kind of wish that we had been a little bit more proactive. Looking back, I mean, Zoom was invented 12 years ago, and I have to be frank, I didn't use it. And now I don't go an hour without using it. And so to me, I look at this and say, we need to maybe be even a little bit more proactive on the changes as we go. But pivoting during the pandemic that we had to do, and really whether it was Sinorama becoming the #1 sneeze guard developer in the world.
Yeah.
Every store has this plexiglass, and we have sheets of plexiglass in every Sinorama store. And so as we started to look at Fully Promoted and Venture X, and, we saw a lot of co-working spaces that were closing.
Yep.
So we developed, again, we're very entrepreneurial, as you know, and we could see that if you delivered the mail, you were an essential business. And so we have mailboxes at Venture X and Office Evolution. So during that time, we became an essential business and we stayed open. In fact, Venture X added 14 locations during the pandemic. And so,
which is incredible for co-working spaces, right?
Exactly, it is. And a lot of them were either closing or shutting down or really stagnant and not working. So it's been great to see. If somebody had asked me 3, 4, 5 years ago, what's the #1 characteristic in people or salespeople or agents or anything else that you're looking for, I would have told them it's their abilities, it's their skill. And yes, we still look at that. That's very important. But I would say today, Jess, it would be embracing change. To me, if I'm looking for somebody, I'm looking for somebody that will embrace change and be able to take things to the next level, because we know there's going to be a new technology. We know there's going to we hope there's never going to be another pandemic. Okay.
Yeah.
And if anybody hears Bill Gates talking about that again, I want to know about it. Okay, because he forecasted this 7 years ago. So crazy, but they have to embrace change, and I think this podcast is a perfect example of embracing change. I mean, think about it. Could you picture yourself 3, 4, 5 years ago doing what you've been doing for 150 of these episodes?
No, and it's definitely what was the embracing the change. I think we've told the story in the podcast before, but we were sitting in a conference and the keynote speaker asked the audience to raise their hands how many people listen to a podcast, and the whole room raised their hands, right? And then they asked how many people host a podcast, and no one raised their hands. and now it seems that there's millions of podcasts, right? But even still in our vertical of talking about small business sales, small business mergers, it's still leading edge.
It is. It really is. And it's encouraging for our franchise owners to hear it. But it also, I know it helps us. Whenever we come on, we hear from folks out there that will say, I love this part, or I love that part, or could you do something on this, and talk a little bit more to us, whether it's to you, to me, to Andy, to Bill, to any of us. And we just kind of pool our resources and kind of go from there. But really, I mean, I look at the last 3 years and what we've accomplished at Transworld is just, been remarkable. Yeah. And the team, the business model, to have the thousands and thousands of businesses that are for sale, to be able to help people move to their next career. And we're doing that with Exit Factor too.
I was going to say, and it's not just limited the success we've seen in Transworld, but United Franchise Group has had banner years the last few years, and you've added new brands, right?
We really have. We learned, I was at a seminar, speaking of, continuous learning and embracing change, but I was at a seminar and Patrick Lencioni, who's a famous author, talked about a rose bush, and how you grow a rose bush is by cutting off obviously you cut off the bad branches. Right. But he said even you cut off the good branches. And keep the great ones. You keep the great ones, but you lose the good ones. So that hit home for me. And what we've done is, yes, we have bought some brands, but we've also sold some brands too. And that's helped our people focus more on the growing brands. Again, not that those brands weren't good. They were excellent companies, and we believe in them still to this day. But it didn't fit us at that time, and that has helped us in building and growing United Franchise Group. So that whole rosebush analogy of cutting off the bad branches, cutting off even the good ones, and leaving the great ones to do even more over years, we actually started our own acquisition company called Excella Acquisitions to help us buy brands and help us sell brands. And so it's been, I would look back, and I've been doing this for now 37 years.
Yeah.
I would say the last 3 years has seen the most change, has seen the most incredible steps that we've had to take. And it is challenging at times when you're managing a business that's got change wrapped around it, and who doesn't have, technology involvement or employee involvements or whatever it might be, competitive, situations. But what we've done is, and I would encourage anybody that listening to this, is focus on your strengths. Stop looking at what other people are doing that you don't do well, and focus on your strengths and really put a lot more time and effort into your strengths. And that's really what we've done at United Franchise Group, is we've focused more on what we're good at, how we can help entrepreneurs learn their business, grow their business, and expand on that. And then that whole rosebush analogy.
I like that. It's some great advice, and I think we've taken that well in United Franchise Group and at Transworld, and all we can do is continue to adapt, respond to the environment, and be innovative in the future.
Yeah, we got to keep doing it. And you know what? We know we live in a world that's constantly changing. So why would we ever think that we could stay the same and be more successful? It doesn't make any sense. What worked 5 years ago, some of it may still work today, but a good portion of it needs to be adjusted, tweaked, changed to fit today's environment. And the world isn't changing slower, it's changing faster. And I just turned 60, as you know.
Yeah.
And so I had an opportunity to spend some time reflecting over the holidays and thinking about, what's coming next? What is it that we can do better, and how can we improve? And, this studio that we're sitting in came from the pandemic. And who would have ever thought we'd have our own studio at our world headquarters here for franchising? But we have to keep reimagining the office space. We have to keep reimagining our sales staff. We have to keep reimagining our business and looking at what's going to work this year. What do we want to work toward? So everybody knows there's an org chart.
Right.
You have an org chart. I have an org chart. It's people.
Right.
Well, we also have an org chart of companies. So we have a people org chart and we have a company org chart, right? Mm-hmm. And then you have to have an org chart for the future. Like, what are you working toward? Here's your org chart. And what are we working toward for people and for companies or departments or whatever you're doing? So, look, I'm going to keep evolving. I'm going to keep getting better. And I'm a big believer in continuous learning, and reading and going to seminars and stealing ideas from people like you, Jess, and Al and everybody else. And I know you think the same way because you take ideas from me. And it's great that we're able to share those ideas. But I think that's what a franchise really is all about. When you look at franchising, it's a great business model. It's training, there's support, there's, cooperative advertising. Everybody wants brand and, they want brand recognition, and everybody wants all these things. And that's what we work toward in each one of the brands and the franchises. But I would say probably the number one is the being able to develop relationships and friendships and mentor that can take our businesses to the next level.
I totally agree.
I think without you guys, I wouldn't be as good as I am, and I'd like to think that you guys wouldn't be where you are, and Andy's the same way. And franchise owners that see that, they get these ideas, and they get the best ideas come from other franchise owners. And we've always grown our business through allowing our franchise owners the freedom to make decisions and try things and test things and talk through, hey, I don't know if I'd do that. I'd try this or do that, right? But at the end of the day, we get our best ideas from our franchise owners. So you want to give them the freedom, but you don't want to give them so much freedom that they hurt themselves. Right? So you have to kind of balance how that is. And we deal with all kinds. I just came from a Discovery Day tour, And the fellow was talking about he's got 150 companies
Wow.
in the Middle East.
Wow.
And he's looking at Venture X, our co-working business. And his whole interest was, now I just want to make sure your franchise isn't so strict that it's going to stop me from going public. Okay, because we're going to go public as absolutely not. We
Right.
want to be part of that. Okay,
Right.
I would love some preferred stock options if that's possible, but if we can't get that, okay, we understand. But the reality is, we're not here as a hurdle or a detriment. We're here as a benefit and a way to take your business even further. And we benefit from each other so much. And I think that's what makes franchising so special, is that we're able to work off of each other's best ideas and best things, and then put our own twist to it.
Right.
And, you know, you're out in Colorado, you're in Texas, you're in a lot of different markets yourself, and what works in one doesn't necessarily work in the other.
Yeah, not always.
No.
No, I love it. It's the idea of this, 1 + 1 = 3. Like,
That's
we're
right.
better together as a whole than when we are as individuals. Right, you've been a huge part of not just the Deal Board, but the Transworld brand, United Franchise Group. Obviously, you've led for a very long time, and our new brand, Exit Factor Together. I want to thank you for all the support you've given us over the years, over the last 150 episodes. And apparently, we've got a lot more to do to compete with Seinfeld. So
That's right.
you're going to have to come back on in the future.
That's right, but I'm looking for those residual checks every once in a while, Jess, right?
Got it.
Okay.
Thank you so much,
Congratulations, Jess.
Thank you.
You guys are fantastic. Here's to the next 150.
Here's to the next 150.
Awesome.
Hey, Andy, do you know what time it is? It's time for our deal of the week.
Deal of the week. Sold.
Welcome back to the Deal Board, everyone. And today for our deal of the week, we have Nathan Willis. He is a senior broker from our Transworld Business Advisors of Colorado office. Nathan, welcome back to the show.
Hi, Jess. Thanks for having me.
So you recently closed and you sold a business for sale. So tell us a little bit about this business that you just sold.
Yeah, so I would broadly call it an environmental consulting firm, which consisted of a seller who was licensed in some very specific disciplines to do some fairly complicated and technical work here in the state of Colorado. So when we listed this business, I was really trying to determine if I had, an owner-operator business or if I had something larger. And there's been aspects to this business that were a little bit of both from that perspective.
Interesting. So who bought the business, or tell us a little bit about the buyer and how this deal came together?
Yeah, so I was nervous at first because the gentleman who owns the business has a master's degree in some of the work that he does. And as I said, it was very specific. So my chances of finding a buyer I thought were slim.
Yep.
But to my surprise, there was a gentleman who had very similar background working as an executive at a much larger firm.
Wow.
That had just been acquired by a private equity company. And in that merger, he received some compensation to be let go. And in order for that buyer to replace his, let's just call it handsome W-2 income, he had to look to buy a business. So suddenly here he came.
Wow. Well, I mean, look, super specific skill set, but not an uncommon story that we hear. It's executives, corporate people leaving the corporate environment to acquire a business, to become an entrepreneur, to replace that income. Very similar story, but again, really specific and timely that this all came together like it did, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about the metrics of the deal structure and those things.
So we went to market right around $600,000. The SDE was about $200,000 for 2022. 2023 was off to a great start. So we were basically asking for a 3 multiple. The challenge with this one was that there was quite a few certifications and such that were tied to the owner and to the business. And so there was a little bit of value suppression once the buyer realized how much of the business was tied to the seller.
Yeah, which is not uncommon when a business is tied to the seller in any regard. It does suppress value, and it prevents you from getting those premium multiples. Doesn't mean it's not going to sell. Did you use any bank financing or seller financing in this transaction?
Good question. So it started off as an asset deal until buyer and seller realized that those certifications weren't going to transfer without the time it's needed for the buyer to get the needed skills. So it ended up being a stock deal. And when it went that direction, the buyer just decided to use cash. And then we turned into seller financing conversations and took it from there.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like it's a great deal that came together. You were able to find the perfect buyer for this business. Nathan, if somebody wants to sell their business through you in the Colorado area or talk further, how can they get in touch with you?
Email and phone. Email is Nathan, Nathan, at tworld.com or direct 303-335-7126.
Awesome. Thank you for being on the Deal Board.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. And I have Bill Luce, my partner and president of Transworld Business Advisors, and he runs our franchise on a day-to-day basis. And we are celebrating the 150th episode with talking about Transworld with Bill. And Bill, things have changed. We talked about this is over 3 years ago. So think about 2019 when we started this. What a different world it was.
World. Exactly right.
We have been through a lot in 3 years, but Transworld has had an amazing run during that time.
Incredible run. First, congratulations on 150 episodes. Phenomenal. I mean, I know the amount of work that goes into that, but it's great information that you're giving the business community, and you guys have done a great job, so congratulations.
Thank you.
But yeah, Transworld, I mean, continues to have tremendous growth, tremendous success. We're probably growing at a rate of 30% a year, which is phenomenal. And, I think it's a testament to the people we have in business. We have the best network and the best group of people by far in the industry, and we're very, very proud of that.
Yeah, and the statistics are off the charts. I mean, thousands of listings, thousands of deals done at billions of dollars being sold in businesses, making entrepreneurs' days, franchising, helping people franchise. It's just been great.
Absolutely. And like you said, every indicator is up. There couldn't be a better time to buy a business and sell a business. It's an incredible opportunity out there.
Yeah, and I think we bring something unique. The system brings unique. We have the ability to leverage a lot of things, leverage a lot of buyers, leverage our vendors, getting really good bank financing for people. And it just shows, and the franchise itself is so successful. Thank you, Bill. Congratulations for that. I mean, we were ranked #1 by Entrepreneur again.
Again for 2022, so yes.
Right, and top 100 across the Franchise 500.
Exactly. We've gotten, tremendous accolades, but again, it's just a testament to how great the entire network is.
And we have a great team moving forward,
We do. We're excited.
Yeah,
2023 is going to be our best year ever again.
Yeah, we'll be talking at the 200th.
Can't wait. Looking forward to it.
Bill, thanks again. Thanks for
Andy.
coming on.
Appreciate it.
Hey, welcome back to the Deal Board, everybody. And it is our 150th episode, and we are celebrating. And we're interviewing some of our founders and our team, and we wanted to bring in Greg. Greg, you are RVP for the nation, basically.
Yeah, so we have a team that helps, but I cover a lot of it, and then I do oversee all of our franchise development. So yes.
So Greg has been with us. How long you been with us, Greg?
Over 6 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And Greg is doing a fantastic job. And, I wanted to bring Greg on because it's interesting to talk about the people that join Transworld and the people that are interested in Transworld. And we just wanted to put that out there because we know a lot of you are listening. Some of you are buyers, some of you are sellers. Well, those two groups are great people to join Transworld, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a good question. We get a lot of people that are interested in Transworld, ironically, because they were working with Transworld, or they were going through the process of looking to buy or sell a business themselves and came up with the thought of the person I'm working with is doing a really good job, or this seems like it's fun, so let me look into this. And we get a lot of people that join us that way. And I would say, besides the people that are either active buyers or sellers, we get two other groups of people. That would be the person coming out of corporate world. They're looking to retire. Maybe they've been involved in M&A transactions in their past roles or some kind of roll-ups. And so Transworld's very appealing to them. And then the final person would be the financial background. So an accountant, a financial advisor, CPA. We've seen people from the mortgage industry So those would be really the three buckets that people are attracted to.
Yeah, I get to meet a lot of them, and Greg sets them up on our Discovery Day tours that we have, and they're virtual, so we get a lot of them, and we talk to a lot of people. And, it's basically, they get a pretty good overview of what what it entails to be a business broker here at Transworld, right?
Yeah, we want to answer their questions, see if this is ultimately going to be a good fit for what they're looking to do, and then obviously make sure that they're a good fit for us with Transworld. But we give them a full behind-the-scenes look of a day in the life of being a part of Transworld.
Right. And it's a fun job, right?
It is. So I get to meet with people from all over the world, all different walks of life, and I enjoy getting to hear everybody's stories and really why they're here and how they ended up talking to us.
Yeah, and we're always looking for good people to join Transworld.
Yep.
I mean, we're a growing brand. Certainly worldwide, we're looking for more people. I mean, you have open territories around the world, of course, throughout the United States, which is filling up, right?
It is. So we are running into, it's a good problem to have, but
it's a great problem.
We're running into areas in states, like Andy said, that we don't have any availability. And for people that are interested in purchasing a franchise, we have a lot of open areas. It just depends on where they want to be. Yeah. But the next best thing would be joining an office, because we have some very good offices that are out there, and joining is not necessarily a bad thing.
No, it's a great thing. And becoming an agent here at Transworld, people can make a lot of money. It is a low investment and a high return. I mean, people, give us some of the benefits of buying a Transworld.
So the first one would be the network. Right. Over 800 people in the network. We're in almost all 50 states and 13 countries and counting. That should go up here very soon.
Very soon.
And so besides that, it's not just you trying to sell your business. You have a network of support teams. You have access to people in all different countries, all different areas of the world. So that's a big benefit. We also will provide the tools, the resources. We want to take away all of the time-sucking activities that can be in this role.
Right.
And so all the administrative work that we can take away from people and everything that we can give back to them in terms of more time to meet with buyers and sellers, that's the value that we provide. And then we also have fantastic marketing and support and training team too.
Yeah, I talk about it with potential people that come to either join as an office owner and or an agent. We have taken a bucket of money, and we've taken that money and shared in it and created a literal trading floor for small businesses and franchises. And we have taken that trading floor and grown it to the point of thousands of listings, thousands of sales, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of businesses being transacted on an annual level. I mean, the success stories are just, it's great. I mean, it must be fun for you watching someone buy it and then build it up from scratch and be, super winners now.
Yeah, it is. Seeing people from coming to us on Discovery Day, hearing their questions and concerns all the way through fast forward. We're seeing them at conferences. We're celebrating their accomplishments. They're winning awards. And people that are telling us, man, I wish I would have done this sooner. It's very, very exciting.
Yeah, and I think you won Salesperson of the Year last year. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It was a great honor. And they tricked me into coming to the conference for you. But anyway, what was really interesting about it was that we have so many sales from existing franchisees continuing to expand. That's got to be, a feather in their cap as well.
Yeah, it is. And we get people that join us, they love it, and then they tell people that it's either friends, family, people that they've worked with.
That's the other thing. People bringing family members in.
Yep, people bringing family members in, and it's nice because it's really kind of the reassurance that not only did they make the right decision, but we made the right decision with them because they want their network to start joining. And you take your head up and you look at all the people that have joined, and you're just very impressed by the backgrounds and everybody that's been joining Transworld.
Yeah, it's been a great run. You've done a great job of managing the sales process. We thank you. You're bringing in amazing people into the system. I mean, top quality people. So we're gonna leave with this. I want you to rattle off a couple of open territories you would like to see filled out there, and you could include countries too.
Countries, that's a good one. So we'll start with in the U.S. We don't have anybody in 4 states right now, so we need to get some presence there. Those would be Vermont, West Virginia, South Dakota, and Montana. So we'd like to get coverage there if you know of anybody.
If you're out there in those states, get some of the last remaining territories in the country.
Yeah, they're great opportunities, and it's blue ocean, so we need some people there. And then just a couple other, off the top of my head, I would say Albany, New York, Grand Rapids, Michigan. We don't have anybody there. Reno, Nevada would be another one that we don't have. And then internationally,
Germany.
Yeah, Germany is a good one. A lot of European countries. We're in the UK and in France right now, but there's a ton of opportunity.
Israel.
Israel is another one, and so
Portugal. I mean, we have some really nice European countries. South America. I mean, we are looking to expand into Central and South America.
Correct. Yep, Central and South America as well.
Yeah. Do we have the Caribbean open still?
So we have
some of it.
We have Puerto Rico.
Okay.
So that was our first venture, and then hopefully we'll keep building on the Caribbean from there.
Okay. Well, we have lots of great territories. Greg, what's the best way to get in touch with you if somebody wants to learn more?
It would just be to give us a call, or we can go to our website, which is tworldfranchise.com, and fill out a form, and either myself or someone from our team will reach out.
It's a little bit different. So we're always saying tworld.com. That is our corporate website, for buying and selling listings. If you want to know more about our franchise, it's tworldfranchise.com.
Correct.
And you'll get a call from Greg no matter what time of day it is.
Absolutely. Yep.
Thanks, Greg.
Thanks,
really
Andy.
Appreciate you coming in.
Yep, you're welcome.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. And I have a first-time very special guest, Mariana Pasol, our new Director of Operations here at Transworld. Welcome, Mariana.
Thank you for having me, Andy.
It's so great having you. And it's so great, and you've been here for a while now. How long have you been at Transworld?
Almost 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
And so that is almost as long as we've been doing our podcast. Our podcast started in late 2018, so it's been almost 5 years. Today, we are celebrating the 150th episode.
Can't believe it.
So we've been through a ton of topics.
Lots of content, lots of good stuff, a lot of episodes. We hear all about it from the first day I joined Transworld. Everyone talks about the podcast. It's becoming a thing with all of our franchisees. It's a really good tool for us, and we're excited.
Yeah, and so we're excited about a lot of things at Transworld. And Mariana came from Director of Marketing, so she knew the podcast
very well.
Very well. And taking those clips and getting them out there on social media. And, thank you, everybody, for continuing to engage. But we're just so excited about what's going on at Transworld. We continue to grow.
Extremely. I think we've more than doubled since I started, for sure.
Right.
Yeah. So the network just keeps growing. We're in more countries than ever. We have more offices than ever, more agents than ever. So it's really exciting time to be in the business brokerage world.
Yeah, we just went over the statistics. We just had, was it a 2-hour meeting?
Yeah, it felt like a 2-hour meeting. It was pretty long, but it's a lot of numbers, a lot of good stuff.
A lot of numbers. So we're talking about the last 4 years worth of numbers and the trends in those numbers. All those trends are up. It is very interesting to see them go through those numbers to decide whether or not it's a seller's market or a buyer's market. And all the numbers are just pointing to Transworld continues to get better.
Exactly. Get better. It's always the right time, whether you're a seller or a buyer. It's the time to do it. It's really exciting. Yeah.
It is. And to everyone out there, talking about Transworld, it's so funny. I meet a lot of people out there, and they still consider Florida excuse me, there you go. They still consider Transworld a Florida or even a South Florida company, and I have to remind them that we're worldwide now.
Global, the size, it's really exciting to be part of the team because of the reach that the brand has. I mean, launching in Spain, Puerto Rico, Dubai with the UAE team. I mean, it's really exciting how we covered pretty much every single continent.
Yeah, and we're really excited to launch Puerto Rico, which was last month or a couple of months ago.
Yep.
And we're just launching Spain now, and there's some other ones that we can't talk about quite yet, and of course the UAE. And it's nice to have you on board because you're I didn't know that Spanish was your first language.
That's right. I'm originally from South America. I'm from Uruguay.
Nice. So we have some extreme talent here, and you've been hiring up as well internally.
Yes, we've grown our team tremendously since we started. We have brought a social media coordinator, we have our marketing coordinator, we have our senior marketing manager, Christina, that joined the team recently. So our marketing team is really growing. We have Michael Barson, who joined us at the beginning of the year, doing launches and really getting out there with the offices. So we have a lot of good stuff happening with the brand.
We do. And we just keep, again, with our growth, we keep adding different tools and technology keeps growing as well.
Data keeps coming in. We have more information than ever. We have done more deals than ever. Our team is really enjoying learning about the stats and what we have to do. Our systems keeps getting better. We keep getting more things with our software and really giving a lot of tools to the offices, which they're really taking advantage of and really growing.
And it's interesting to see. So some of the statistics, just talking about the capabilities of Transworld, even through the COVID crisis, even through there's some seasonal dips every once in a while, but what we're seeing is just the consistency of Transworld being able, and we not only talk to our agents out there on this show, but we're talking to buyers, sellers, potential sellers, people who want to grow their businesses. What we see is that our capabilities just keep getting better and better, but we're so consistent in being able to help people buy and sell businesses.
And we have the largest network. That helps. We have a lot of people that are working day to day, making sure that our deals are closing faster, easier, that the experience is there with our clients. So it's really, really good time to be part of the brand.
Yeah, we saw that. We saw that the speed of the deals is picking up.
Yeah.
And you would think that, and we're in a situation right now, it's 2023, the banking situations seem to be questionable and people are worried about it, but it hasn't slowed us down.
It really hasn't. And we've been able to, with the last 2-3 years, really pivot and really use and get better with our knowledge, our stats, and really using all of that to our advantage. Pivoting, using technology better, working with our partners in ways that we've never worked before, using our systems all together, really working really well and really taking advantage of the market.
Yeah, and talking about our partners, we're going to see all of our partners.
We will have the most amount of strategic partners there at our conference, the most amount of agents within our network and owners in this conference as well. So it's going to be a pretty big event.
It's going to be a huge event. Transworld is getting together in Orlando in May. This podcast will be released before May. If you're listening afterwards, we just had our biggest conference ever.
Yeah.
We're going to have a great time. We have rented out
We're taking over. We're taking over the Renaissance. Yeah, we're
taking over the Renaissance, and we rented out House of Blues.
The House of Blues, that's right.
Oh my God, it's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, we'll have a really good party celebrating the success of all of our offices and really working together.
Yeah, hundreds of people in the Transworld network now. I never thought it would get so big. We certainly, when we started this podcast back in 2018, it came from a conference. We were sitting at a conference, we were listening to a keynote speaker, and they said, you need a podcast. And so ran into Jessica a little bit later, and she said, we need a podcast.
And here you are, 150 episodes later.
150 episodes later. So just again want to thank everybody. Wanted to introduce you to the Mariana, and thank you, Mariana, for all you do for the network.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things are going good.
Yeah, 150 episodes.
I
It's
know.
a really good milestone.
We'll see you at the 300th.
You got it.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hey, Jessica, you know what time it is?
Money time?
Almost. It's time for listing of the week.
Hey, everybody. It is listing of the week, and we have a great listing. I love listings like this. We have Joe Bartolo from Transworld Business Advisors of West Florida. And Joe has a lot of listings, but he just picked up a nice one. Joe, tell us about this really great business.
Yeah, I have a AC company, HVAC company in North Florida by Gainesville area. It's an awesome AC company. It's 50 years old in business. It's over 50 years old in business. Discretionary earnings are, about hitting over 300,000 a year.
Nice.
The sales are about 1.3.5 million a year in 2022. 7 employees. 50-year-old, over 50-year-old business. It's a Lennox premier dealer. He won awards for the last 7 years. He has 900 maintenance contracts that are included with the business as well.
Wow.
So residential, he does about 80% residential and 20% commercial.
That sounds like a great business. Is there financing available?
Yes, yeah, the SBA, yes.
So it sounds like a great deal for someone 50 years old. I mean, I think that's when they first started air conditioning here in Florida. So he must have been right in on the ground floor.
Oh, yeah, yes, yep, he was there.
And a lot of times, the value to these businesses is they have their stickers everywhere. So I'm sure this business for 50 years has been servicing. So a good deal. So Joe, what's the best way to get in touch with you if somebody wants to learn more about this business?
Yeah, my number is 352-999-1815.
Excellent. I really appreciate it, Joe. Great business.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for tuning into the show today. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends on social media. And don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review on your favorite podcasting app. If you have questions, would like to appear, or have suggestions for topics for the show, get in contact with us through our website, thedealboardpodcast.com.